Joanne from Adult Services here, back with several upcoming new releases from popular authors. These will be high-demand tomes publishing in November, so place a hold if any of these titles appeal to your reading habits. Hidden in Plain Sight, Jeffrey Archer. The second novel featuring William Warwick, who has recently been promoted to detective sergeant. His promotion means that he, along with the rest of his team, have been reassigned to the drugs squad. They are immediately tasked with apprehending Khalil Rashidi, a notorious drug dealer who operates his extensive network out of South London. As the investigation progresses, William runs into enemies old and new. Adrian Heath from his school days, now a street dealer who he convinces to turn informer, and financier Miles Faulkner, who makes a mistake that could finally see him put behind bars. Meanwhile, William and his fiancée Beth enjoy making preparations for their upcoming wedding, though an unpleasant surprise awaits them at the altar. As William's team closes the net around a criminal network like none they have ever faced before, he devises a trap they would never expect, one that is hidden in plain sight. A Galway Epiphany, Ken Bruin. He's left raucous Galway behind for a quiet life in the countryside, but Jack Taylor still finds trouble when he is hit by a truck and ends up in a coma. Two children who apparently helped him are regarded as saints, but finding them is another thing, and freshly awakened Jack is up against an order of nasty nuns seeking the children for their own ends. From the multi-award-winning two-time Edgar finalist Bruin. A bit about the author. Born in Galway in 1951, Ken Bruin is the author of The Guards, the highly acclaimed first Jack Taylor novel. He spent 25 years as an English teacher in Africa, Japan, Southeast Asia, and South America. Fortune and Glory, Janet Ivanovich. This isn't just the biggest case of Stephanie Plum's career, it's the adventure of a lifetime. When Stephanie's beloved Grandma Mazur's new husband died on their wedding night, the only thing he left her was a beat-up old easy chair and the keys to a life-changing fortune. But as Stephanie and Grandma Mazur search for Jimmy Rosoli's treasure, they discover that they're not the only ones on the hunt. Two dangerous enemies from the past stand in their way, along with a new adversary who's even more formidable. Gabriella Rose, a dark-eyed beauty from Little Havana with a taste for designer clothes. She's also a soldier of fortune, a gourmet cook, an expert in firearms and mixed martial arts, and someone who's about to give Stephanie a real run for her money. Stephanie may be in over her head, but she's got two things that Gabriella doesn't: an unbreakable bond with her family and a stubborn streak that will never let her quit. A Christmas Resolution, Anne Perry. Detective John Hooper, William Monk's right-hand man at the Thames River Police, is blissfully happy in his new marriage to Celia, the cousin of a victim in one of the River Police's recent murder cases. Celia wants the same happiness for her good friend Clementine, who's just announced her engagement to Seth Marlowe, a member of her church. Christmas is nearing, and this should be extra cause for celebration. But when Marlowe begins receiving threatening letters about his first wife's death, it becomes clear that he is far from the devout man Clementine thought he was. In his rage, Marlowe accuses Celia of sending the letters, claiming she wants to ruin his engagement to Clementine. At a loss as to how to defend herself, Celia enlists Hooper to investigate the letters' claims, and what he finds makes her desperate to show Clementine the truth about her soon-to-be husband. Daylight, David Baldacci. FBI agent Atlee Pine's search for her sister Mercy clashes with military investigator John Puller's high-stakes case, leading them both deep into a global conspiracy, from which neither of them will escape unscathed. For many long years, Atlee Pine was tormented by uncertainty after her twin sister Mercy was abducted at the age of 6 and never seen again. Now, just as Atlee is pressured to end her investigation into Mercy's disappearance, she finally gets her most promising breakthrough yet: the identity of her sister's kidnapper, Ito Vincenzo. With time running out, Atlee and her assistant Carol Blum race to Vincenzo's last known location in Trenton, New Jersey, and unknowingly stumble straight into John Puller's case, blowing his arrest during a drug ring investigation involving military installations. Deadly Cross, James Patterson. A double homicide in the nation's capital opens the psychological case files on Detective Alex Cross. Kay Willingham led a life as glamorous as it was public. She was a gorgeous Georgetown socialite, philanthropist, and the ex-wife of the vice president. So why was she parked in a Bentley convertible idling behind a DC private school in the middle of the night with the man who was the head of that school? Who shot them both, point blank, and why? The shocking double homicide is blazed across the internet, TV, newspapers, and across Alex Cross's mind. Kay had been his patient once, and maybe more. Now that the weather has cooled and the evenings are longer, it's time to settle in with a good book. Enjoy.